Good morning, dear students. These are the two questions that were given as your homework. Now, one thing which I have noticed while you are solving this question, you are directly writing it. For example, if you are getting it as 2 to the power 5 into 3 to the power 2 is equals to 3 to the power x into 2 to the power y. Now, some students are not you are putting equal to sign. Now students, remember one thing, whenever you are solving there cannot be 2 equal to, so it is implies that sign, so you can use this sign and then you can, but you cannot directly come to this step. You either first write down the prime factorization of the numbers, or you first multiply these two numbers, find out the prime factorization of these numbers, find the exponents, and then come to this step. What I mean to say is, students, do not directly jump to this step. You need to show the calculations. You can see here I have shown whether I have solved this question which I have discussed in my lecture last class. Like, I have shown how I have got the prime factor and then in the exponent form, and then I have equated the values of x and y. Students, you need to show these steps because these steps are important. What if you are directly jumping to these steps? I would simply consider that you have copied these steps and you are not able to follow the sums. So I know, students, you are following the lectures and I want you to follow the lectures, and that is why I am saying, students, do not jump the steps. These are not 1 mark questions, or these are not questions which you need to solve in 10 seconds and so you are jumping it. Relax down, take your time, solve step by step. So these two are the solutions of the questions. Most of you have done correctly. Most of them I have returned it, but if you have not followed these steps, please again check and redo the work. At least write down these steps. Some of them have written the steps correctly, those are okay, but some of them have directly written down the answers. I have approved them also, but students, those are wrong. You need to do the steps. Now, in today's class, we are going to extend our concepts to a little different things. These are known as the laws of exponents. Like, whenever we do certain things, whether we are studying science or whether we are studying English, now there are certain formulas. If I talk in mathematical terms, there are certain formulas which have to be remembered in order to get the correct answer. So similarly, whenever we are solving questions in exponents, there are certain formulas that have to be remembered or that have to be used to solve the problems easily. So there are 3 laws of exponent. Now, the very first law. Now just look at this question, like 2 to the power 3 into 2 to the power 2 into 3 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 2. So in a previous class, I told that whenever the bases are same, we were adding up the power. If I could just make you recall, particularly in this sum, when I showed you in this way, and I have even told you that this is based on a theory, and we are going to study exactly that I am talking. So whenever the bases are same, so we were just adding up their power. So this is our first law. As you can see, it has been stated, when numbers are in the exponent form with the same base, to get their product, add their powers keeping their bases same. That is what I mean to say. Whenever the numbers are multiplied, now whatever the exponents that we are going to study now will be purely based upon multiplication and division. These questions will not be in the form of addition. Like you can see here, the numbers are getting multiplied. So whenever the first law, whenever the two numbers are having their same basis, their powers will get add up. So this is the general form. For example, if we have a to the power m into a to the power n, then we will be adding up. It will be a to the power m plus n. So you can see, if I say 2 to the power 3 into 2 to the power 2, that means 3, the power, it is 3 and it is 2, so we are adding up and we are getting 5. So see, I have replaced the values of m and n. Suppose a to the power 5 into a to the power 7, that means a to the power 5 plus 7, that is m plus n. So I have added up that a to the power 12. Similarly, you can see x square in y cube into y square x to the power 4. So what you are going to do, you are first going to break the terms into the respective powers. So I have x square x into x to the power, because these are also getting multiplied only, but we have not put the multiplication symbol. Now children, please be very careful. I can see some of the students, the x and the multiplication sign is similar. This may create a misunderstanding, so please try to avoid the confusion and just try to bring a little differentiation in x and multiplication sign. So see, I have first broken out the terms and I have brought down the similar term. Actually, I have broken it to bring the similar terms together. So x square into x to the power 4 into y cube into y square. So this is based on the first law. You can see 2x. So I can add their powers. So 2 plus 4 and 2y same base. So I can add their powers 3 plus 2 and ultimately we have 2 x to the power 6 into y to the power 5. Similarly, this was the case when the it was actually based on variables. We can also have numbers like 2 to the power 2 into 2 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 2 into 3 to the power 1 into 2 to the power 4. So we will add all the exponents having the same base. So we will have, what are the numbers having same base? The 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3 and 2 to the power 4. So we will add 2, 3 and 4, and then we will add the same bases of 3. So we will have 2 plus 1, 3. Similarly, we can have the power in the form of variables like 2 to the power m into 3 to the power n. So similarly it will go. You just need to remember that the bases need to be same. If the bases are same, then only we will add their powers. Again, there is an example in your book, as you can see. Question number 3. 4a square b cube c square into 8a to the power 9 b to the power 6 in c into 3a b to the power 10 c to the power 5. So all these are in multiplication form. So first we will multiply the numbers, like you can see 4 into 8 into 3. Next we will start with the variables like a, and we will add up all the powers of a, like a to the power 2 plus 9 plus 10 plus 1. So a to the power 2 plus 9 plus 10. All these will be written in the power only. You will not write it like a to the power 2 and then plus 9. This is wrong. You will write a to the power 2 plus 9. This indicates that they are getting added up in the index only. So this is the first law. This is also known as the product law. Now, the second law. The second law states that when the two numbers are divided, now again they have to have the same base. Remember, we are working on the same base. So, when the two numbers are divided and have the same base, then their indexes or their powers get subtracted. Now, a to the power m by a to the power n. So, the two numbers are getting divided and we have two cases. One is a to the power m minus n if m is greater than n, and the other case is 1 by a to the power n minus m when n is greater than m. So, I will just tell you why it is so. Now, suppose I have the question a to the power 5 by a to the power 3. So, this is of the form a to the power m by a to the power n, where m is equals to 5 and n is equals to 3. So, I can clearly say that m is greater than 5. So, what I am going to do? I am going to write a to the power m minus n. But consider the reverse case. A to the power 3 by a to the power 5. So here m is 3 and n is 5. That means n is greater than 5. So if I just use our previous rule, which states that a to the power m minus n whenever it is in the form of a to the power m by a to the power n. So this will be a to the power m is 3 minus 5. So we will be getting a negative sign. So whenever there is a negative sign, it means it is 1 by a square. And this is the reason why we write it and put it in bracket, because this was the explanation part. This was the only reason when n is greater than m, we write it as 1 by a to the power n minus m, because ultimately we will have 1 by a to the power 5 minus 3, which will be equal to 1 by a square. So this is what I wanted to show, the two cases, what happens when m is greater than n and n is greater than m. If m is greater than m, then we will have a positive result, but in case the denominator's power is more, in order to avoid the negative sign in the index, we just make it 1 by a to the power n minus m. Ultimately the result remains the same. Just in order to avoid the negative sign in the power, we use this one whenever we see that the denominator's power is greater than the power of the numerator. This is the second law, which is also known as the quotient law. Now, next is the third law, which is also known as the power law. Now, you can see the general form says that a to the power m whole to the power n is equals to a to the power m into n, which means that whenever there is a number and its index is raised to another number's index, you can see n is raised to the power a to the power m. That means a to the power m to the power n. So we have two index, or we have two powers. So whenever there is a question where there are two index, or index is in the form of raised to another index, then we write the base raised to the product of index. We will multiply these two index. As you can see, a to the power 3 whole to the power 6, which means a to the power 3 into 6. We will multiply 3 into 6 and we will have 18. Similarly, what will be this? We have a to the power 6 to the power 2 by 3. This will be equals to 2 to the power 6 into 2 by 3. So here also, if the indexes are in the quotient fraction form, we can easily cancel them out. So it will be 2. So this will be equals to 2 to the power 4. This is the third law. So today we have studied three laws. First is the product law, which states that a to the power m into a to the power n equals to a to the power m plus n, which means if there are two numbers such that their bases are same, then their powers get added up. Then the second law, which is also called the quotient law, which states that whenever the numbers are divided by one number, then we will have a to the power m minus n if m is greater than n, which means the power of the numerator is greater than the power of the denominator, and 1 by a to the power n minus m, where n is greater than m if the power of the denominator is greater than the power in the numerator, keeping in mind that both the numerator and the denominator will have the same base. And then the third law, which is also called as the power law, in which if a number is in the form of index whose index is raised to the another index, then we have the base raised to the product of two indices, and that is a to the power m to the power n equals to a to the power m into n. Now students, whenever you will be getting questions, how are you going to solve? Now we have studied three laws, and every question will be solved by either one of these, or there can be combinations of more than one law. So you have to write the law. For example, if we want to solve 2 to the power 6 divided by 2 to the power 8, so this means 2 to the power 6 by 2 to the power 8. Yes or no? Because there is division, that means 2 to the power 6 by 2 to the power 8. Now, since this is in the quotient rule or second law, you will write in within bracket, you will write, since you will just write down the statement of the formula, that is a to the power m by a to the power n equals to 1 by a to the power n minus m, because we can see that the power of the denominator is greater, and why we are using this, you will write this, you will write this statement. Clear? You will write the general form, and then once you have written down, you will then 8 minus 6, which will be equal to 1 to the power 2, which is equals to, either you can keep in this form, that is in the indices form, or you can just write like this, because you know how to expand in when a index is given. Clear? So what I mean to say is, whichever law you are using, you have to just write the general form. See, I have written all the general form for your easy. I have just put them in rectangles, so that you just know the general form. This is the general form for product law. This is the general form for the quotient law. Be very careful whenever you are writing the quotient law, particularly which one you are using. If you are using this one, so you will write this one. If you are using this one, you will use this one with the conditions. You need not write both the conditions. Whichever you are using, you need to write that condition only. Now I have another example. For you can see x cube y square into y square z square into x to the power 4. So seeing the question, it is very clear that we need to use the first law or the product law. So first we will just write all the terms in multiplication form. Power 4. Then we will write the general form, that is a to the power m into a to the power n is equals to a to the power m plus n. Just we will write the general form. We will not write that x to the power 3 into x y to the power 4 and all. Just write the general form and then add up the powers. This will be x to the power 7, y to the power 4, z to the power 2. So this is how you are going to solve a question if you are using the exponent or the laws of exponent.